Hello and welcome to the news on NTA International. At this hour, I am Dennis Adegunloye. As usual, let's begin with the headlines. Security agents foil attempt to kidnap Islamia students in Katsina State as UN commends efforts by Nigerian government in rescue of abducted Kankara schoolboys. Nigeria loses Director General of Nations APEC Institute. President Buhari describes him as an intellectual colossus. Plus, World Health Organization in close contact with UK officials over emergence of new variants of coronavirus. And we'll begin with security matters. Another attempt to kidnap some Islamia students of Hizburahim Islamia Mahuta village, Dandume local government area of Katsina State, numbering about 80, was foiled by a combined team of security agents. Correspondent Shehu Adamu in the earlier hours of Sunday spoke with the police public relations officer, Kaduna State Command Superintendent of Police, Gambo Issa, on the incident.
From NTA. I'm calling, sir, to find out latest development about your effort in trying to stop a kidnap attempt, which you succeeded, sir. What is the situation so far?
Yes, as you are aware, last night, around 22:00 hours in Funtua local government, some pupils of Hizburahim Islamic School, Mahuta,
yes, sir,
went to Al-Qasim village reportedly for Maulud celebration.
Yes, sir.
And on their way back that night, they were accosted by some suspected bandits,
yes, sir,
who earlier kidnapped 4 people at Dampaure village in St. Funtua local government. On their way to escape with their booty with 12 cows, okay, they met these students trekking back to Mahuta from that Al-Qasim village, okay, where they went for the Maulud celebration.
Okay.
They now decided to join these students and carry them along in their characteristic way.
Okay.
But we got the information, and I directed the area commander Funtua to mobilize available policemen with him, POF-ADA, PMF men, the military, and then the vigilante men. So they gave them a hot chest, and in the gun battle that ensured, they were forced to abandon not only the 4 people they earlier kidnapped at Dampaure, and the cows also they stole.
Okay.
They also, in the confusion, could not go along with those puppies from that Islamia school.
Okay.
And all of them were rescued,
okay,
except 8 that were discovered also to have hidden themselves in surrounding villages in the confusion that ensured consequent upon the gun battles that transpired between the security forces and the bandits.
Yes, sir. Let me get you very clear, sir. You are saying there was a report that the number of the pupils were 80, and now you are saying 8 are missing so far.
No, I said out of the 80, as at last night, 8 were not seen, but they were eventually seen this morning.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So what is the situation now? Did you reunite them with their family, or they are under your care for now?
They are being done. They are being united with their families.
Okay.
No problem at all.
So what is the next line of action for the Katsina Police Command now, sir?
We will continue to trace those rascals in their hideout. We will carry the battle to their hideout and ensure that we keep them on the defensive. Over.
What is our message to the people of Katsina State?
They must maintain vigilance, like timely information like this facilitated tremendously in the success of that effort. So they should continue to maintain that spirit of giving very good information to us, so that we can discharge our duties, our constitutional responsibilities effectively.
All right, that was the Police Public Relations Officer, Kaduna State Command Superintendent Police Gambo Issa speaking earlier. In the meantime, the United Nations has commended the efforts of the Buhari-led administration in the rescue operations that led to the release of the abducted Kankara schoolboys. Debola Brooklyn Sunday reports that the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said this in a message released by his spokesperson to the United Nations in New York.
Secretary General welcomes the release on the 17th of December of some of the children who were abducted from a secondary school in Katsina State, Nigeria, on the 11th of December. He commends the swift action taken by the Nigerian authorities to rescue the children and calls for the immediate and unconditional release of those who remain abducted. He stresses the importance that the released children and their families are provided with the necessary health and psychosocial support. The Secretary General calls for increased efforts to safeguard schools and educational facilities in the country and reiterates the solidarity and commitment of the United Nations to supporting the government and people of Nigeria in their fight against terrorism, violent extremism, and organized crime.
The front runner for the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, also described the return of the schoolboys as wonderful news, adding that it is time to revive the return of the Safe School Initiative and implement it comprehensively to protect the Nigerian child. Now we have in the studio a one-time commissioner of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command in person of Lawrence Alobi to speak on the rising cases of kidnapping in the country. It's good to have you join us on NTA International.
Thank you for having me. Good evening.
All right. In recent times, the cases of kidnapping in the country has been quite worrisome. What, in your view, can be done to curb this disturbing trend?
Yeah, thank you very much. There are many factors that could be employed, or strategies that could be employed to stop this ugly trend. In the first place, let me also join all the people of the world and Nigerians in general to commend Mr. President, all those who took effort, who did everything to make sure that these boys are rescued. You see, it demonstrates the result, the beauty of team spirit, cooperation and collaboration. When we unite and work together, we win together and celebrate together. So today we are celebrating this success story. On the issue of the rising increase in kidnapping, the point is that kidnapping has been meant to be a very lucrative business. And originally lucrative attracts people into it, and so I think one of the ways to stop it is first and foremost that the issue of giving ransom should be minimized, should be discouraged, and citizens should be out there to give information to the police and other security agencies, because these people who come to kidnap people are not spirits, they are human beings, and when they come out from villages to lay ambush, to attack people and kidnap them, abduct them, they are being seen by people. They come in vehicles. The vehicles have numbers. If we all Nigeria become very, very vigilant. In fact, what I used to do when I was CPF City, when there used to be these onion boys along Airport Road, I had to raid all the villages around that axis. And I tell the chiefs, if you allow this to happen, because these people come from your village to raid, to attack the people on the highway. If this happens, I'm going to get all of you arrested. So that will help in minimizing the trend of this unknown boys along the Airport Road, this at robbery along the Airport Road. So every Nigerian should know that he has a duty. So 24-year provides that every Nigerian citizen has a duty to assist the religious maintenance of law and order. So we should all be concerned. Let's see that this country belongs to all of us. We have no other country. Each person should think, how can I contribute to the safety of my community, how to promote peace and security in my community and my country in general. So I think we should all be committed. Absolutely. With commitment and dedication and commitment, if we all, and then unity of vision, unity of mission, and we have a common vision to sort of make our country and community safe and secure. I think this country will be, safety of this country will be granted. If we all come together, all stakeholders, not only security agencies, the government should also have a political will to stand out and ensure they empower security agencies in terms of logistics and equipment. And these days, security is technically driven. So we can even increase surveillance of our highways, surveillance of the country, air surveillance. So when anything happening anywhere, it can be picked up through the footage, and that will have to go a long way.
All right. The most recent kidnap case Sunday morning was foiled by a combined team of security agents. Now, where is the place of members of the public in terms of intelligence gathering?
You don't gather. You share intelligence. What members of the public do is they gather information. Mm-hmm. Intelligence is already analyzed, evaluated information that now becomes intelligence that can be used by security agents to carry out the security operation. The citizens can come in this way in terms of information sharing. Mm-hmm. They observe. They're also security conscious. Communities can also have their own young men who can really be keeping vigilance in their own communities. Not necessarily that they want to be paid. Let's develop a culture of service. Culture of service to serve our community. Life is all about service. Mm-hmm. When we come out and say that we want to make sure that our communities are safe and secure and peaceful, we should all volunteer. Okay, this area will be covered. Not necessarily until we have police or the military to be there for me to ensure before to guarantee our safety. We should all be self-conscious of our own security, and so we can contribute to promote the security and safety of our communities.
Okay, this year is coming to an end, and there is the usual rise in criminal activities. What's your advice to members of the public?
During this period, everybody wants to have money, to get money to celebrate, want to show they've arrived and so forth. But we should at least have sense of contentment. Nigerians should have sense of contentment. And then we should be conscious and be your neighbor's keeper. Like when I was reading from my GC, I wrote a book called on some map. I said, sleep like a snake and sleep like a cat. A snake is always vigilant at all times, and a snake sniffs. He's always conscious wherever he moves, he sniffs and makes sure where he's moving to is safe and secure. So we should all be conscious of our movement. We should know how we share information, even to our families, and also our families should know how. You need to know principles should be applied, and we should be very, very conscious of when we are driving on the highway to ensure that we don't overspeed, and passenger, when the driver is driving with necessary speed, please caution that driver, because your life is precious. You are precious to every Nigerian. Every life in Nigeria is precious to us. Absolutely. So we should be conscious, and drivers, please be careful how you drive along the way. Contribute to the safety of other people's life, and contribute to the safety of your own life and your property.
All right, very good advice there, Lawrence Alobi, former Commissioner, FCT Police Command. Thanks for being with us on NTA International News and sharing your thoughts.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Now, the Nigerian army has continued its build-up to confronting all threats to Nigeria's internal and external security. To this end, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, has inaugurated and inducted new artillery guns and equipment for immediate deployment to the theatre in the northeast. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
Of these artillery guns and equipment, the firepower of troops in the front line has been further enhanced. Most of the equipment are brand new, procured through the Ministry of Defense, while few were remodified and upgraded by the Nigerian Army to improve their output. These long-range artillery guns have the capacity to target and destroy distant enemy cell locations.
And they will be inducted into this area of Operation Lafia Dole. You can also see some of the special projects that the Chief of Army Staff have just commissioned. And it's more concerned about the working environment of both officers and soldiers as a determining factor of their performance.
The glory of God.
Amen. The Army Chief also inaugurated the headquarters complex of the Nigerian Army School of Artillery, inspected ongoing projects in the school and barracks, before moving to Jaji for the inauguration of the headquarters, Department of Land Warfare, Armed Forces Command and Staff College in Jaji, Kaduna State. Ismail Musa, NTA News.
You're watching the news on NTA International. Time for a quick break. We'll be right back. Do stay with us.
open. Your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight.
Now reading page 3.
Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
Dialogue, empathy, love, and unity. These are vital components of nation building.
We have lived in harmony with Igbos, with Hausas, with Edo. Everybody that comes to this state, we have lived in harmony. Because we believe in the unity of this country.
We call for peace, we call for calm, but we also call for justice and accountability.
Let's build and not destroy.
Thanks for remaining with us. Now, the Police Service Commission has dismissed 4 senior police officers over cases of misconduct. A statement by the head media and publicity of the commission, Ikechukwu Ani, says the commission also reduced the ranks of 2 other officers while also handing punishments of severe reprimand to 4 others. The statement added that a chief superintendent of police was also dismissed for conspiring with 4 others to vandalize a transformer and stealing its components. The commission also directed that the officer should be prosecuted. Similarly, deputy superintendents of police and an assistant superintendent of police were said to have led a team that intercepted 3 Mercedes-Benz trucks conveying about 300,000 live cartridges believed to have been smuggled from Benin Republic into Nigeria. The team was said to have impounded the trucks at base for 3 days but made no entries. In other news, the Federal National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, Bashir Mohammed, says the Commission is adopting new strategies in providing care for migrants who have returned but are still at refugee centers across the country in the face of the second wave of the coronavirus. The Federal Commissioner stated this while briefing journalists on the 2020 Migration Dialogue in Abuja. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports.
20 years down the line, since the International Dialogue on Migration began to provide a forum to dialogue on issues bothering on migrants. The 2020 dialogue is focusing on bringing the society, public and private sectors together to promote discussions on the implications of the first and second wave of COVID-19 and the role of migrants in the pandemic response and recovery. This dialogue, convened by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons, is geared towards adapting new strategies to provide care for migrants in the face of second wave of the pandemic.
I would like to reiterate that the plight of persons of concern is one that causes so much heartbreak and sleepless nights to all Nigerians. That's why at the peak of the lockdown, we worked day and night to get across to the most vulnerable of our population to ensure that they were all taken care of.
The 2020 Dialogue on Migration has as its theme providing protection and assistance to migrants during and post-pandemic strategies and actions. He said the team is apt considering innovations in providing care to the migrants. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the federal government has launched a 42.3 billion naira 10-year strategic plan of the National Blood Transfusion Service. Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Hanahanire, says the plan, which spans through 2021 to 2030, will ensure a good quality, safe and sustainable blood supply with 100% voluntary, non-remunerated blood donation. Basi Itaikman reports.
The Federal Ministry of Health report of 2018 reveals that about 18% of newly acquired HIV and other transmissible diseases like hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and syphilis in Nigeria are due to unsafe blood transfusions. This, the Ministry of Health representative made a case for the passage of the National Blood Service Commission Bill into law.
It is therefore imperative that blood service in the country is properly coordinated and regulated.
Stakeholders at the meeting noted that delivering on this vision would rely on more robust quality management system, robust regulatory frameworks, appropriate quality policies and processes. Development partners promise to continue to support Nigeria to ensure high level of safe blood for its citizens in line with WHO standard. The National Coordinator, National Blood Transfusion Service, noted that the 1 million unit blood bank is achievable if Nigerians imbibe the spirit of blood donation.
Stand on whose standards that only ELISA screening is accepted as minimum for screening for both TIs. Private screening is therefore not acceptable and will not be allowed in Nigeria.
The 1 million safe blood units, an initiative of the National Blood Transfusion Service to improve and make available enough safe blood unit for Nigerians and other products, also received the minister's endorsement at the forum. Basi Taipang, NTA.
Now, the World Health Organization is in close contact with officials from the United Kingdom over the emergence of a new variant of the coronavirus, as Britain insists that the European Union shifts ground on post-Brexit trade talks. Uche Ugochukwu tells us more on the global scene.
The World Health Organization says it is in close contact with UK officials over the emergence of a new variant of coronavirus. The new variant is spreading more rapidly than the original version, but it is not believed to be more deadly. The same mutation of the COVID-19 virus has also been detected in the Netherlands, Denmark, and Australia. Meanwhile, a number of European countries have or are considering banning travel from the UK to prevent the spread of the new variant. The Netherlands and Belgium have suspended flights, while Italy, France, and Germany are reportedly planning similar action. However, the global COVID-19 infections figures near 77 million, as shown on Bodometer coronavirus dashboard at 6 p.m. local time, with Nigeria Saturday recording 920 new cases. Turning attention to Brexit, Britain insisted that the European Union should shift position to open the way for a breakthrough in post-Brexit trade talks, with Health Minister Matt Hancock saying on Sunday the bloc should drop its unreasonable demands. With less than 2 weeks before Britain leaves the EU's orbit, both sides are calling on the other to move to secure a deal and safeguard almost $1 trillion worth of trades from tariffs and quotas. And from Ethiopia comes the report that 3 people were killed when an abandoned bomb exploded in the capital, Addis Ababa. The explosion occurred amid a 6-week conflict in northern Tigray region between federal forces and a rebel force. That's it from here. I am Uche Ugochukwu.
Thank you, Uche. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari expresses sadness over the death of Professor Habu Galadima, Director General, National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, describing him as an intellectual colossus. In a statement signed by the Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, the President said Nigeria will continue to remember Professor Galadima for his eloquence and remarkable contributions to scholarship. President Buhari, who commiserated with the deceased family, friends, the government and people of Nasarawa State, said NIPS and Nigeria at large lost one of the best Director Generals ever appointed to head the institute. Similarly, the Plateau State Governor, Simon Bakolalong, says he received with shock the death of the Director General of NIPS, Professor Habu Galadima. Governor Lalong, in a statement, said the death of the professor is a great loss to his immediate family, NIPS, Plateau and Nasarawa States, the Nigerian academic community, and the entire country. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari commiserates with the family, friends and associates of Professor Dotun Phillips over the passing of the distinguished development economist. In a statement by the Senior Special Assistant, Media and Publicity, Gabashewu, the President also condoles with the academia, government and people of Ogun State. President Buhari notes that Nigeria has lost a brilliant economist who for decades made his wealth of knowledge and experience available to students, researchers and governments at all levels. Leicester City earned all 3 points at Tottenham in a 2-0 victory